Welcome back to the Bluegrass on this rainy December morning. I'm out with Romeo, an awesome French Mastiff, or what they call a Dogue de Bordeaux, I guess, in France. And behind him, you'll see 3 5-month-old dogs. I have an Australian Shepherd, a Jack Russell Terrier, and a Boykin Spaniel, okay? And so in this video, we're going to talk about what it's like to live with and train a Dogue de Bordeaux. And you guys can just kind of watch in the background, and you can see how these other kind of dogs move around and play and carry on. And then this is a Catahoula leopard dog. His name is Hank. He's about a year old, I guess. So it's going to give you kind of a good comparison. So don't just pay attention to what I say, kind of watch the dog. We're going to work him up here and do a little basic obedience demonstration, and then we're going to go out back and take a hike in my pre-adventure area, okay? So now, my general thoughts on this dog, come on Romeo, is that he's pretty awesome for me, okay? As a dog kennel owner, you know, I like dogs that are easy to manage, and this particular French Mastiff has been very easy to manage. He's got a great personality. He gets along really well with the other dogs, and probably the best thing about him from our perspective is he does a lot of sleeping during the day, okay? So he gets up early in the morning and he has like a big burst of energy where he wants to come out and he wants to play with the other dogs. He runs around for a while and then he just goes and lays down. You can go back and watch a video I posted last week where after the first snow, Romeo went kind of crazy playing in the snow, and the next day he literally laid around all day. So if you're looking for a big dog with a great personality that has enough energy to love on you and love on your kids and be a big hit in the neighborhood, okay, but has a tendency to want to sleep all day, these guys are great, you know. And you get kind of the added benefit of a dog like this. He has a great deal of value as a guard dog because the size of the dog provides a high degree of deterrent value, but the general disposition of the dog, you know, he's pretty friendly and outgoing, make sure that your liability issues stay low. So in other words, he's big enough to scare away an evildoer who is not particularly well versed in dog breeds, but he's nice enough so that he doesn't accidentally, you know, do something that he's not supposed to and get you sued because he bit somebody. Come on, nerd. Now, watch especially as we're doing these obstacles, like the difference between managing these really small dogs and this larger dog. When you have a large dog like this, you're not usually planning on going out into the world and going on big hiking adventures every day, okay? But why we do the same type of training for all the dogs is we want to help all the dogs develop their full potential, right? And so from the time they're puppies, we make sure that we come out here and we teach them a conversational style of vocabulary, and we make sure that they can implement that vocabulary in a wide range of physical conditions, okay? And while we're doing that, what's happening is the dogs are getting what we call toes to nose stimulation. So their nervous system and their musculoskeletal system are learning to work in synergy, okay? Helping the dog realize its full potential, okay? A dog like Romeo, where you really kind of run into some issues with dogs like Romeo is that they grow so fast, oftentimes they're not able to really control their bodies the way that you'd like for them to. And since when they're young, even though they're really big and strong looking, they're kind of fragile because everything's growing so fast. They can go out and try to play, and they're clumsy, and they can take missteps, and sometimes that will result in injuries that could have been avoided if you would have done the proper kind of socialization early. So, like for example, you saw I was wanting to come down this ramp, and he stepped off of it. I'm going to come back here. Good. And I'm going to manage him in such a way that he learns to be a little bit more thoughtful and careful with his foot placement. And what I'm doing with that is I'm making sure that later on, come on nerd, come on. Later on when we're out hiking and he's wanting to investigate things, that I don't have to worry too much about him taking missteps. Oh, what are you going to do with that big stick? About him taking missteps and not being able to keep up with us. Up. Now, if you watched a lot of my videos, you can tell a lot about a dog just kind of by how well they pay attention as we're working through the whole course. And you'll notice, like right there, as I was talking, I kind of got to being a little stingy with my rewards, and Romeo got distracted and started missing some of his steps, and then he and then he got this, he decided he wanted to pick up a stick and stuff. So if you're going to work with one of these dogs, understand that your obedience lessons are going to take a little bit more patience. They're going to take a little bit more repetition. And you might have to have, like say, a little bit lower standard than what Instagram or YouTube would lead you to believe you need in terms of obedience for a dog. All I need out of that big dog right there is for him to be calm, attentive, and polite, and refrain from behavior that's dangerous, destructive, or rude, so that I can fully integrate him into my life. Because a dog like this gets so much attention when he goes out. As long as he's getting attention for being calm, attentive, and polite, that will establish self-reinforcing patterns, and those will hold through all the way through all of his developmental stages. Okay. Now again, we have to be very careful, but in order to make sure that we get a really strong sense of proprioception development out of the dog, we have to put them in situations that really allow them to think, and while they're thinking, make their body like match their thought patterns, right? So like right here, this is what we call our rubble pile, and I'm letting this dog kind of get up here and move around. So he's got to look at the rubble pile, analyze it, and then think about how he's going to approach navigating the rubble pile, which makes him a whole lot better at understanding how to control this big body. Very nice. And again, it's super important that he can control himself, because just think, when he's an adult, he's going to be super heavy. What would a person do if you were out hiking with him and he got hurt? Does that make sense? Like if he got hurt, it'd be tough to carry him home. Now, right here, you see where I'm kind of losing his attention a little bit? That's going to be pretty par for the course when you're working with these big Mastiff dogs. Good. So you'll have to come in and be just a little bit, you have to be a little bit more proactive with your reward work. If you're a reward-based trainer, stay. You have to be really dedicated to a proper set of food work protocols so that you can hold his attention. Because these guys just kind of, they kind of get bored doing what you're doing and decide they're just going to kind of wander off and do what they want to do. Okay, so you'll see me starting to sweeten the pot to keep his attention where I need it to be. Easy, very nice. Come on, come on. Sit there for a second. Come up just a little bit. Good. There we go, right there. Now stay there for a minute. Very good dog. Now you'll see right there where I made a subtle adjustment. The way I have those mats laid out is I want that dog to stop and sit in the red. And what I'm doing there is I'm gauging my ability to influence the dog. So when I first got him to sit, he was sitting in the yellow, and that wasn't a problem with him, that was a problem with me. And I like to have objective standards that let me know when I'm doing something that needs to be addressed on my side of the leash, or the dog is doing something that needs to be addressed on his side of the leash. And there's a lot of confusion about those two issues in life, which is why, a lot of times it's hard for people to do compulsive training because, come on, nerd, because dogs end up getting punished for a lack of handler skill. You see, and it's just in other words, it's really easy to push that button when you're in a bad mood. It's really easy to externalize blame onto a dog and not accept the fact that you as a trainer are not doing a good job. Okay, so we try to be as positive as possible around here, and again, like I say in all my videos, I'm not some positive Pollyanna saying that dogs never should have to do stuff just because you tell them. But with this kind of dog, the more positive you can be, and the more that you can use exercise to your advantage, the more that you can use reward to your advantage, the better off you're going to be. Kind of gradually letting him mature into a nice, calm, attentive, and polite dog instead of trying to force it on him. Big mistake people make with those dogs is they get big really fast, and people will look at them and they'll say since they're big they should be mature. But this dog is no more mature than these dogs that are playing under the table. Look at this. Look at these two side by side. Romeo, look here. Come here, get up here. There you go. All right, look at this. Same age, right? Okay, but when people come down here, a lot of times they think of this dog as being less mature than this dog. Well, not only is this dog more mature than this dog, right? Okay, this dog, he needs more understanding because everything in life is just a little harder for him because he's so big, right? He can't get quite as many repetitions in per day. He gets really tired. He needs to sleep a lot. And so when you have a big dog, you have to be especially understanding, even more understanding than if you have a little dog. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go out back and we're just going to take a walk, and I'm going to let you guys just kind of watch what it's like to go on a little hike with all these different types of puppies. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, like I said, once he gets going, there's no stopping him, but at least he comes back fast. All right, well, now we're going to walk around, and I just want you guys to kind of watch these dogs and see how long it takes to, you know, get this dog to where he would be easy to live with in the house, right? Okay, so we got a Dogue de Bordeaux, we have Jack Russell, we have an Australian Shepherd, somewhere around here we have a Boykin, and we have these 2 Labrador Retrievers. They're our mentor dogs. They're kind of here just to make sure that like they provide a little bit of guidance to the other dogs in terms of how far to range and when to come back and stuff. And so we're just going to walk, and this is a big part of our process. We call it learning by doing, you know. Like I run a giant puppy Montessori, and I believe that if a person shapes the environment properly, they can help a dog to mature in a natural way, which will lead to just great general obedience, you know. And so I let these dogs come out here and learn by doing. Very good dogs. Oh my gosh, very good dogs. Now, at the beginning of the walk, you can watch Romeo is just full of youthful exuberance. He'll be sprinting around, you know, and we expect that to die off relatively quickly. See if I can get him back. Dogs! Come on, come on! Now watch, look, 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 look. He's the best boy I ever seen. He's a very good dog. He's a very fast comer. Okay, now he's trying to keep up with this Australian Shepherd, and you can already start to see his tongue, right? We call that a fatigue meter. When that tongue starts hanging out, then you know your dog's getting tired, and they're going to be, you know, starting to settle down. Now, one of the things that you'll notice when you watch my videos and I'm out hiking with dogs is I don't micromanage, okay? From my perspective, like if you give a dog a lot of freedom when they're young, then they don't crave it so much and have that tendency to really dash away during that adolescent boundary testing phase, you know? So I'm all about like letting them come out here and range and have a good time, and then they kind of buy freedom by coming back and checking in every once in a while. While we're out hiking, we're always trying to, you know, transition the learning that we did on the Exercise with Small Challenges course into real life situations, okay? So all throughout my pre-adventure area and over on my farm, we have mowed paths in such a way as they help dogs learn to be responsible off the leash, and we have presented we've made brush piles, okay, that serve as our small challenges when we're out on our off-leash hikes. So this would be one of them. So I'm just going to kind of come over here, and I'm going to walk up this little pile of logs, and then I'm going to call the dogs. Come here, babies! Come on, come on. Oh my gosh. And you see how this mentor dog comes up here and he draws these other dogs up here with him. Kind of a, you know, like a do as I do kind of deal going on. All right, very nice. See if I can get Romeo to come over here. Here, Romeo. Come on, buddy. See if you can navigate this big brush pile. Good. And this might not seem very impressive to you guys who watch my channel because I don't have a lot of these Mastiff type dogs on here, but hey, this is pretty good for a super big dog. It's really, really hard to develop a sense of agility in a large dog, and if you don't start early, well then, like, you're doing your dog a disservice. One of the worst trends that ever got started in dog training was convincing people not to go out and exercise their dogs. And what they tell you about big dogs like that is that if you exercise them, then you're going to create joint problems, okay? And nothing could be farther from the truth. Always remember this: when you're given any kind of advice by an academic or an intellectual or a professional, you need to run it through a common sense filter first, okay? And what I mean by that is, think about the whole history of the development of all biological life on the planet, okay? There's none of it where exercise is naturally restricted during the formative developmental stages, okay? So if you get in the way of that, okay, you're creating problems. A simple way to think about it is that exercise reveals problems, it doesn't cause problems, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, cameraman, you can swing around behind me. Good. Take off walking. Come on, dogs. Very good dogs. Now, Romeo's mannerisms when he comes out here into the pre-adventure area, you see him running real hard. If you'll go back to the How Dogs React to Their First Snow video I posted a little while ago, you'll see the same thing where he just went crazy, you know. And expect, if you have a really large dog like this and you take them on a hike or an outdoor activity or even just to play with other dogs, that they're full of youthful exuberance and they have a tendency to overdo it, so it might take them a day or two to completely recover. Come on, dogs. Very nice. Good dog. You a good dog. Oh, and you're a good dog. Good dog. Oh, they're smart dogs. Very good. One of the questions that I get a lot when it comes to hiking with dogs is people are like, well, Stonnie, how do you get your adult dogs to stay on the trail? Well, to be honest with you, all I do is I take them out when they're young and I let them get off the trail. And then over time, they're just like you. Remember when you were a little kid? If I bring little kids out here, they're wanting to tromp around over here and climb the trees and stuff. And, you know, they kind of get used to what it's like. They kind of, get that inquisitive nature satisfied. And then after we've been out here a few times, they're just like you. They're just going to take the easy route. So I let the dogs go over here and do things and explore, and knowing that as they mature, when we go on this path, they will understand what's over in the brush, right? And they'll say, yeah, I've been over there, and I'm not against going over there again, but I don't have to be over there all the time. The more familiarity you can provide to the dog, then the less weird kind of strange stuff that's going to pop up that comes from wandering, that comes from, I wonder what's over that next hill. I wonder what's down in that creek. My goal is to take them out while they're babies and let them know what's over there. And that way, as they mature, I can provide them with opportunities to go investigate the things that they have found that they like to do, but I can put some nice obedience protocols in front of us, and nothing fancy, just simple stuff, coming when they're called, being still when they're told, having good manners. Very nice dogs. Very nice dogs. Come on, come on. Oh my gosh. Now, no kidding, when we go back up to the kennel, you see that Romeo's palling around with Ozzy, the Australian Shepherd, and he's running with them. Hey, Romeo's going to go into a deep coma. Now, I wish I had a good way of showing you that deep coma that he's in. And Ozzy's going to take a nap. He's going to go to sleep for about a half hour, and then he's going to be up and ready to go. Oh my gosh. Now this Boykin be pretty steady all day. This Boykin's got a nice steady energy output. It doesn't suffer from those super highs, you know what I mean, like in super lows. It's just kind of like ready to put in some consistent work. Come on, dogs. Now, one of the things, I'm not sure that you'll be able to pick it up on the microphone, but you know, like if you were here, you would be able to hear the labored breathing from Romeo, okay? And that's because he's kind of got a smushed face. So like he has a little harder time breathing than the other dogs, which obviously that contributes to his fatigue. You know, so if you have a big dog and you're wanting to go out and do stuff with them, keep a close eye on them. Listen to their respiratory patterns, and most importantly, probably, is watch their tongue. You know, when they start to get tired, that tongue will start to hang out, and you'll know that you're getting to the, you know, kind of reach the threshold of their exercise tolerance. People try to put these numbers on stuff like 5 minutes of this or 20 minutes of that, but every dog's an individual, and the environment changes so much from day to day. The temperature, the humidity level, the wind, you know, so you just got to kind of keep an eye on a dog. I say this a lot, but dog training is an art, you know, not really a science, and dog management is also an art. Okay, so now we're at the world famous brush pile challenge, okay? Now, for those of you familiar with my channel, this is kind of the ultimate test of whether or not our lessons taught up at the Exercise with Small Challenges course are transferring well to real life. Okay, but like when you have different kind of dogs, you have to think in terms of like when would we broach this activity when we go outside. So I'm going to call Romeo up here. Come on, Romeo. And I'm going to take a look at it. Remember just a second ago I was saying that, like, you know, dog training is an art. So you see how his tongue's kind of hanging out and stuff, right? Now I put myself in a position to where I know that he's not gonna go to get up on the brush pile challenge and make a mistake because he's too excited, okay? But the brush pile challenge is really hard, so I might have put myself in a position where I let him get a little too fatigued to navigate all the way to the top. So what I'll do is kind of split the difference, and I'll just come over here and I'll lead him up a little ways. Good. And test and see how it's going. If he seems to be having a pretty good time with it, good. I will move a little bit farther forward. Come on, nerd, you can do it. And what I'm doing right here is I'm just teaching him how to test, good, this substrate material with his paw. So he's trying to walk up, and this paw maybe is, the weight is being supported well, and this one isn't. The back paws, what are they doing? And this really makes him understand how to use his whole body in a balanced way. Come on, oh, you can do it. Come on, come on. Very nice. You're a very good dog. Got to be a little bit more lavish with my rewards here, because this is hard. Oh, the older I get, the harder it is to do. Come on, dude. You can do it. Come on, come on. Very nice. Come on, come on. Oh, wow. What a good boy. What a good dog. Oh my gosh, and we made it to the top of the brush pile challenge because you're such a hard worker. You're such a hard worker. You're a very good dog. Now this could have went either way, you know. Like on the one hand, I could have took a path where we come to the brush pile earlier, but I was afraid because he was so full of energy, he might get up here and thrash around, right? So I let him kind of run around and get some of that energy out. The problem is when I let him get some of that energy out, well, then we lose a little bit of enthusiasm and, you know, just raw, you know, energy, right? Okay, but it worked out okay. So now he's going to take his own way down. Very nice. And that actually worked out okay. I generally will back up and go that way, but Romeo had enough confidence just to pick his own line and walk right off. Hey, bring me my leash back, dude. Hey, this is a video about off leash. Give me my leash. Very nice. Okay. All right. So, camera, if you want to go that way, we'll wrap this video up. Okay. All right, now we'll just take a back way back to the kennel. Let these dogs catch us. And you know, maybe after watching this video, you might choose to investigate, you can go this way. You might choose to investigate these Dogue de Bordeaux a little bit more closely, all right? The reason I wanted to take the dog for a walk and really show you what it's like to train one and to live with one, like in comparison to other dogs, is because when you're investigating dogs, there's a whole bunch of people that tell you things about them, but there's very rarely people that show you a lot of stuff about them. And most of the people that raise these dogs and breed these dogs, they don't necessarily get out and do all the kinds of stuff that I like to do, you know? So I'm just trying to provide you with some real life, actionable information. Okay, so let me call them back to me one more time. Here, dogs, come on, come on. All right, so to wrap up, what did we do? Took a 6-month-old French Mastiff, a Jack Russell, an Australian Shepherd, somewhere around here is a Boykin Spaniel, and 2 adult Labrador Retrievers on a hike. And everybody did pretty well, you know? I mean, like everybody had a good time. Everybody stayed with me. Nobody needed to be on the leash. Nobody needed to be fussed at, right? Okay, so that tells you that there's a lot of latitude in terms of what kind of dog you get. But the difference is going to be when we go up to the kennel, these smaller dogs, they're gonna recover very fast. And Romeo he's pretty much going to be asleep for all of the rest of today and then a good bit of tomorrow. So Romeo can't do these little hikes like this every day. We have to give him like more breaks. And that could be good for you if you're looking for a weekend warrior to go to the park and have a little bit of fun with. But like if you're super active and you're wanting to get out and bike and hike and do stuff every day, then probably this dog is not going to be right for you because his energy profile and also, you know, just because of his size. He's just so dang big. Like when we go to put him in the truck or something, like I have to have steps with me all the time. I can't just pick him up. He takes up a lot of space in the truck. And he is also like, he's a little bit on the disgusting side. He will put his face in any amount of mud or whatever and just wallow it all over himself. And then even right after you give him a bath, he's still kind of disgusting because he just drools a lot and gets it all over your seats in your car and stuff, okay? All right, so that's what I think about French Mastiffs. I hope this video provided you some insight to, you know, kind of balance out the other stuff that you're researching. And if you have any questions, post them in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing what you have to say, and I'll see you next week.